My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Well, I'll tell you all that since that last recording, I just went to work a while ago and got through my 3-hour work day. That's what I get because, I'm special needs, get other things from the government. So that's kind of why I work a little shorter days. And, it's kind of one of those things where as you kind of see in life that, that video, like I said, it was kind of cut a little short for the reasons it was. And when I did my first attempt to record it, as I said, where, like I said the last time around, the tripod fell and the tablet fell with it, so I kind of decided to stop the video and set the tripod and tablet back up. And then for most of the time I was carving, I forgot to press the record button, so that was why most of the step that was done on most of these Santas got done before I started recording, and it only took 5 minutes to do that step on the last two, so that was kind of the reason why. And with what little time I had before going to work also, just didn't have that much time to record after that. But we're going to kind of move things down a little bit here. Try to decide, maybe I'd say a little step or two to work on next. I'd say when it gets down to the boots, that'll be the hardest part. So might kind of put that on the back burner for a while. I'd say there's probably little places in here that we may still need to just chip out a little bit. I'd like to share with you a little story about how that in the days whenever I was, carving little Santas like these from basswood back in the days and painting them, it just so happened that out and about in places where I saw a lot of cherry and walnut out there being advertised on the sign as things people were doing furniture with, and thought it would be so neat to take some of these same little ideas for Santas and use a little bit of cherry and walnut to carve them, because I tell you, the original carver of this pattern, I think that bass or white pine might have been about all he used, but I took a lot of his patterns and started using them for cherry and walnut and other things, because I'm always just kind of adventurous with things like this and kind of like to try different things. But I say that maybe this time around we'll get around the little ruffle of the hem of the garment, maybe try to round that off a little bit. When you're kind of doing so many of these at once, it can get a little hard to think about just getting every step on every one of them. These will be good for what they are, but do think there might have been a certain step around the forehead that I was supposed to kind of take with them, but didn't really get around to doing it when I needed to. And I'd say, though, that I do think the hood is going to turn out just fine, even with how everything did. So I just think it was kind of just a little bit of work in itself just to make things turn out as well and good as we could get them to do. And I'd say with this one too, we're going to take around that same little strike of the hem of the robe or the coat or whatever, because I say that, there are so many different versions of Santa Claus and St. Nicholas out there. we kind of like to see them all. There's probably one or two others that in the future I might get a chance to carve some more of, but this is just one of those first Santa patterns I ever carved, so that's why I like it so much. That's why I'm so comfortable with it and enjoy it as much as I do, just using all the different kinds of woods. And I even just learned, for one thing, recently about African mahogany too, that it's not really a type of mahogany. It just gets its name because it's kind of similar in colors and ways, but I've also learned that of course it's kind of a wood that comes from Africa. That's how it got its name. And I learned that this other type of wood they call genuine mahogany was actually real because it comes from South America, which is like originally where mahogany comes from. I'd say there's a little bit of work to do around this little garment's hem as well, and try to get a little bit of extra time and work done into the poor little figure of the nice little Santa Claus thing, and just do a lot of things that need to be done to kind of make it so he's going to be a very good character to know and to love and have around for all times, we say. And I say that just a little kind of nice work we do, I say that it's going to be a little ways, a little more work just to do all the rounding off there will ever be to do, so that can kind of come a little in its own time. I do want to say that every year around Christmas time, whenever the autism banquet for the Autism Society of the Bluegrass would meet over at St. Michael's Episcopal Church, there was a certain man we had come over there who dressed up as Bishop Niklaas. He actually purchased one of my carvings that year, and I don't remember which Santa it was, but I just know there's a lot of people who have been out to that event for years and gotten a lot of my stuff for years. They've always enjoyed having it around, enjoyed seeing it. And that lady who coordinates the event, I mean, she has an autistic son. That is kind of the reason why she has as much to do with the event as she does. But I'd probably also just kind of mention that, you know, she started a collection of Santas, which started with a Santa that I made. The one that she purchased from me was, I'd say, the first one she ever purchased, and it was actually the one that became the start of her whole collection that she started kind of collecting along over other artists over other times. And I was always just real happy and blessed to know that, and always good to know that sometimes, just sometimes, even your own little piece of work can become something that becomes another person's little memorial. My request would probably be that even after I pass away, that some people who have some pieces of my artwork would probably, I'd say, you know, put them up in their own households, and if they still have them, maybe have them up there as monuments of me. I'd say the thing of it is that, you know, I've always also had a will that whenever I passed away, that I wanted to be cremated and have a little urn with my ashes in it be put into the columbarium at the Lexington Cemetery. I mean, and I know I'm going to be single all my life, so that would just certainly be my request. And so I'd say, with all things being said, that's kind of how it is for right now. I am unsure whether my will or my mind is ever going to change by then, but it's like I've got a long life ahead of me, and would say that would kind of be my own wish. So it would be like, of all things, you all could kind of, if you ever buy my crafts, you could keep them for yourself or buy them as gifts for other people, and whoever owns it can put it up in their house somewhere as a monument for after I pass away. And I'd probably say, for one thing, that if I ever became famous enough one day that I had a museum for all my work, and if that museum became a historical site, it would also be my will that there be a little window box in the museum that the urn of my ashes be put into, because that's kind of one of those things where I think people can probably see a little memoriam of me when they come across those things. And I say that if any of you wants to, you can always feel free to drop anything into my PayPal or my Venmo, both of which I'd say are on my Linktree site, and that will kind of be a means by which I could take business a little further for the future, probably have a better fund saved up by which I might be able to do a little more. And that's one of the things where I'd like to be in all kinds of places, going around to different parts of the country, different parts of the world, maybe just to kind of share my artwork. This is really not a time when I'm able to do that much, at least not in the school year, because I work in a school cafeteria and kind of, have to be there for my job when they need me. So that's just kind of, I'd say, a little bit more about work and the way it goes in this world, and how we take care of just the things in life that we have and the things in life that we need. And I say that this is the kind of thing where we love what we do and do what we love sometimes. And of all things, I say this is just, I say the most about how it goes. I'd like to have a little bit more to say and to share as we work along a little further in life, but as you see, we kind of got this little hymn rounded out. We got this little one rounded out too. We got the both of these. I'd say there's probably going to be a thing or two left. We're going to come across here, maybe kind of do a little more into these cuffs, I guess. And I say, just kind of work our way along, make kind of like little bitty cut-a-roos, I say, and have old Santa Claus come out just the way he ought to be, and just, I say, work along till we make us see little something we never knew. Probably, I'd say, got a little bit more wood from the front off of those cuffs, and kind of like how when this video uploads, there might be a little more work to continue on doing to try to make it a little bit better and more fabulous as the little bit of work continues in this world. And I say that there's probably a lot that goes on in our lives that we don't know enough about to really know who we are or what we do, but in our lives, I say, it's just kindness that goes a long way. And it's always like they have even said in some of the videos I've watched that the kindness you put out there has a way of coming back to you. And that's just kind of where I come to see the little joys of life and work and peace in the little things we do. And of all times in life, I say that work is just a little obstacle we face and see what we do. And I'll tell y'all, maybe I'll kind of work a little more, keep this video going a little while longer as I kind of do a little bit more rounding up on these little cuffs as well. And these are the ones of the genuine mahogany, or the Honduran mahogany rather. And for how the ways that we just work in our lives to make others' lives so much better. And that's where I hear about the ones in this world who use all their time and their talents to give to others. And there's a certain man I knew who made all those walking sticks out of wood back in his days, made walking sticks from branches and put little decorative things on top of them. And I say he was known for it and loved for it, and had a really big, I'd say not a big name, but he had a little plaque that had a picture of him on it in his little cart that he went around in, that said something about just, you know, the things like that that he did. Because I say, you know, when they say in life that what you know about the Bible and about tooting your own horn, they also just kind of say that, you know, when you do a charitable deed, don't announce it like trumpets like the hypocrites do. They've already received their reward in full, they say. But when you do it, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Do it in secret, then your Father in heaven will reward you. Oh, all the days I used to like to try to brag about a little bit about my deeds and how far I kind of took some things in life, but it's just all just little things that go asunder and go ahead. And when we kind of face life's challenges in the end, there's just a lot we're going to make on earth, and we're going to leave it to those who will come after us, because you'll just find out in the end that it's all a lot of stuff that you can't take with you when you go. It's just the life of all of us. It's just reality. And I just want to say that I appreciate the fact that you all come on here to watch. And I've got primary election day tomorrow in my state, so there's no school for the students and no work for the staff. So I'm going to have a day off to kind of chill tomorrow, maybe do a little more work, do a little bit more recording, no telling what I'll have time to do, and be back with you all probably sometime tomorrow if I get a chance. And hopefully when this video uploads, I can kind of work on a little bit more and say and do a little bit more. So of all things, thank you for watching. Take care and be blessed. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.